Hello, lovely ladies. Thank you for joining me for this panel discussion. If you're watching on the replay, hey, welcome. Happy to have you. If you're watching live, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. If you're watching live, the cool thing here is that you get to ask questions. So as you're, listening to our fabulous panelists, Alanka and Jill, chat through these concepts, if you have questions, put them in the chat. Like, we are here to answer any questions you might have and to help you kind of navigate these ideas. So first, what I want to have y'all do is introduce yourselves. So Jill, can you share a little bit more about you and your business with our
Yeah.
watchers?
Yeah, welcome, or thank you for having me. Welcome to anyone watching and rewatching. I'm Jill. I have a coaching business for moms, and it's called Living with Heart. My main goal is to help take moms from feeling lost and like they have lost themselves in this journey of motherhood, especially in those really early years, and then help them find their purpose and realign with a goal and who they were prior to kids, and just help them rediscover what life can be about when you put yourself back in it.
I love it. Can I ask a caveat question? Why do you focus on that specifically in your business? Like, why did you choose this topic to become an expert in?
Oh, it's just from necessity, really, because I had to go through the journey on my own. I had some struggles when my kids were small. I had a lot of challenges pop up in my life, and I started diving into personal development. And I really felt that all of the personal development I was learning was so inspiring, but a lot of it was taught by dudes and geared towards dudes, or career women or women with older kids or no kids that didn't necessarily have the same limitations in their schedule that I did. I couldn't hack a morning routine, and it killed me. And so I had to find my way around and create my own tools that worked for me as a mom to help me identify what my goals were, in this new role of mom, but still keeping myself front and center, because I struggled with that a lot. And I just found some really unique ways to be able to take these big ideas from the experts and hone them down so that it worked for the everyday mom who's just in the weeds and struggling.
I love it. And I wanted you to explain that because I think it's really interesting and really important to know that, a lot of times when we, start these businesses, it's because usually we are our ideal client. That's totally my story. Like, I was my ideal client. I was totally burnt out. I had a business that totally stressed me out. And like, you had this like moment, as we all do sometimes, and we say, I don't want to do this anymore. There has to be a better way to do this thing that I'm navigating. And so I think it's really cool when we start these businesses from like actual real life experience. I think it's super powerful.
Totally.
So Alanka, I'm excited for you to introduce yourself because you do similar-ish things as Jill, but you have different ways of getting there. I was kind of going over that before we hit record. So can you share a little bit more about you and your business?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. It's really exciting to be here. It's interesting hearing Jill's story and, the similarities in, I suppose, how we got to do what we do daily, right? So I'm also a transformation coach. I also work with mom entrepreneurs, and to me, I think, the biggest thing in my journey has always been like, how do we as moms create these businesses without losing ourselves in the process? And so my thing that I help moms with is, how can we help you work less so that you actually have more time to do the things that you want to do outside of business? Because it's so easy to feel like business takes over everything, especially in the beginning stages as well. So yeah, that's what I do.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay. So both of you we have a current six-figure mompreneur methoder in Jill. We have an alumni six-figure mompreneur methoder in Alanka. And so you guys have chosen to focus on automating and systemizing audience growth, lead generation, and email funnels, which is what we talk about inside a six-figure mompreneur method. So Jill, can you share with us why this is a focus for you and for your business over the next 6 months?
Yeah, because I'm in the early stages. So I feel like this is the perfect time to get in and learn the systems that can help me. I would be a good client of Alanka's too, because I am that mompreneur who's looking to work less to be able to spend more time on life. But I want support, and I want some proven systems to help me gear up quickly, and take me through systematized processes that will let the business sort of run. Specifically, I'm building up an audience. Lead generation is huge for me. I'm sort of lost, and I feel like I talk to you about that all the time. I'm lost in how to get there and who to reach out to and how do I do the things. And it's been so amazing, even just, starting really in the program, to be able to start to see those aha moments come together.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been cool seeing you navigate that, because that is the question you have a lot. It's like, how do I find my audience? Where are my people? How would I generate leads? So it's cool seeing you navigate that and figure out what that looks like for you, because that's the most important part when it comes to building your business, is making sure that it actually works for you, because when it works for you, it works for other people. And that's where the magic is. So Alonka, can you share with us why this was a focus for you over the next, or you were in the program when it was 3 months long. So why you decided to focus on that when the program was 3 months long?
Yeah, I think what really pulled me into the program was the fact that, I understood the importance of having those customers coming in, regularly. And when we start building our businesses, we don't necessarily have the funds to push into Facebook ads and, doing all the so-called advanced or more advanced strategies, right? And although your program does, touch on things like that, it just felt really aligned to me to create those systems, as Joel said, and, do it in a really simple, organized, structured way. So like, I always understood the importance of it. And I think, being in the online space for quite some time now, it's always been easy for me to assist other people in doing that, because I was actually started out as a Facebook ads manager, and so understanding that really helped me. But I was also at a place where I didn't necessarily have those systems in place for myself, like taking the time to actually do that for me. And so that was sort of, the focus. And yeah, it's just been incredible, that feeling of just having things in place and sort of ticking off the boxes. And now I can say, like, those things are running, like they're working in the background. And as a mom, like, that's what we want to do. We want to free up that time, and so that we can focus on the things that are important to us, even like the clients that we're serving. So it's just good to have those things in place and just feel like, now I can actually focus on other things as well. So yeah.
I love that. Now it feels like I have those things in place and I can focus on other things. I love that you just said that, because that's what we want, right? We want to have these things running in the background that do the work for us, so that we can pour more into our clients, or take a freaking day off, or do whatever the other things are that we want to do. And we know that these important needle movers in our business are squared away. So thank you for sharing that. So that's super, super helpful. The last question I wanted to ask you guys is, how does it feel? Like, we know the results that we can get as a result of doing this work. Like, we understand, like, more leads, more people see your offer, ideally more people buy your offer. We know that. But what I want to ask is, Jill, how does it feel to be focusing on these systems and this work in your business?
It feels empowering. It really puts me in a position where I feel confident that I know what I'm doing. And if I don't know what I'm doing, that you know what I'm supposed to be doing. And so you can support me, and the community of women that are in the program alongside me is super helpful to know that we're all in camaraderie together. So if I don't know the answer, somebody else might know the answer. You're for sure going to know the answer. And so with all of that support, I feel really confident moving forward in the business, in that I'm not going to make epic mistakes. I'm sure there will be mistakes, but yes,
mistakes are nothing more than data coming back to you. Let's own
it.
Right? Yes, I love that. I love that you said that you touched on the community, because that's the thing that I think is super powerful. I love one-on-one coaching. I think it can be really transformational, but I really love when we get people, right? Because I think that, like, yes, I have a perspective, but Alonka has a different perspective, and Molly has a different perspective, and Adriana has a different perspective. Like, everyone has different perspectives. So, like, I can coach you, but they can also come along and coach you. And maybe you guys come up with a different solution to it. And I think that's really, really powerful. So that's awesome. Thank you, Jill. So same question for you, Alonka. How does it feel to have these systems set up inside of your business?
Yeah, so I just want to, like, before I give you my answer, I just wanted to add to that. I feel like the power of the community. Like, I'm still connected with the ladies that were in the group that I was part of. And I feel like, you know, we're creating these long, like lifelong friendships, and we're creating this network of moms who's just like, we're all focused on, like, you know, creating impact in this world. And it's just so powerful. And also like seeing the other moms in the group get coached, like when you're in the hot seat, it's almost as if you don't necessarily, because you're nervous and you're like afraid you're saying the wrong thing or asking a dumb question, you know, like all the things that go through our minds. But when you see other moms get coached, it's almost as if you can like take away the emotion that's involved when we ask the question, and you actually get so much out of it, you know. So I love the idea of private sessions, but I just felt, as Jill said, really supported. And yeah, just like there's this community aspect that is hard to find in other places. But for me, I think the big thing or the big feeling is like having my stuff together, if that makes sense. So I feel like, you know, I'm finally at a place where my business is simple and organized, and I just feel like when I get to my desk, I know what I'm doing, like I know what I'm focusing on, and you know, it just feels really together, which at this point, you know, feels like I struggled so long to get there. So yeah.
Ah, kudos to you. That's awesome. That's so great. Ladies, thank you so much for this. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your experience. Jill, if someone is watching and they're like, I want to learn more from Jill, where should they find you online?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram. My handle for both is Living with Heart Community. And then, of course, I've got a website like all good business people do. So it's www.livingwithheart.ca, because I am Canadian.
Amazing. Ilanka, if someone's like, I need Ilanka in my life, where can they find you online?
Yeah, so I predominantly hang out on Instagram, and they can find me at Ilanka Ras Coaching. And my website is just my name, ilankaras.com.
Amazing. And Ilanka was also a guest on the podcast back in December 2021. Yeah. I think it was episode 257, if I'm remembering correctly. So if you're watching and you're like, I want to listen to that podcast, go find the podcast episode. It's fabulous. Lovely ladies. Thank you so much. This was wonderful. Thank you for your time, and thank you for being here.